and on top of that, he was able to have a son in his. So
So what was the question again? Let me just get a better understanding.
Oh, I'm a
are you
frog.
are you gonna play One Piece, Marcus, or are you still playing
I'm gonna be playing Yu-Gi-Oh real quick, and then I'm gonna
oh,
have
okay.
my yeah, but um, so
I'm not. All right.
uh, so wait, go. So
He said who did it better in regards of redemption, having a better redemption, Kratos or Itachi? You know, now I would say that Kratos is still dealing with things that he'd done in his past. Now he has his whole son in the last one all involved in it now because now they had the last bit of the gods or whatever that was left over. But Itachi, with him, he went ahead and he already had basically got his redemption in his brother's eyes. And you gotta remember, his brother was the only one who's seen it after even though he did kill off his whole clan. Well, they both killed off all their clans.
Yeah.
yeah,
But,
they both kill off. Kratos kill off
Kratos
the
basically
gods.
destroyed an entire religion. He
mhm,
destroyed an entire mythology.
and this one destroyed his whole clan, his whole bloodline except for one. So I mean, Itachi really didn't have much of a redemption. He just only reason he did it
He's
really was just to save his brother. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? And
Well, he didn't
but
have
he
no
didn't really
choice.
have.
He really didn't have no choice because he said, Donzo say, "Hey, kill off your clan members, or we're going to kill you and your clan members." So Itachi came and said, "Listen, I'll kill off my clan members unless you spare my little brother." And Donzo said, "Okay, do it." So
Ooh, this is purple.
I really can't say it was a redemption. He was ordered by the Leaf Village to do it. So
He could have said no, though. He could have said no.
yeah, but then he will die, and
Yeah.
Sasuke would die too. So and if you want to talk about redemption, Kratos have a redemption by killing off the whole mythology of the gods. Because you gotta remember what the gods did to him.
Hmm.
So that was the reason why he came back to life, to kill the whole gods. I don't think he spared one god.
No, he did not. Not at all.
He took them all out,
Even when
that was
Gaia
like
helped him,
basically
he killed.
basically the demigods was left over.
Yeah, the moment even when he killed Gaia, because Gaia was helping him, he killed Gaia. So
Hmm.
Guy was helping him and then tried to manipulate him, and he was like, fuck that. Taking your ass out.
And with Itachi, he wasn't the one who killed off anybody. He didn't take out anybody. He just basically just stood in the shadows and let things progress. I mean, he did
yeah,
stop them from doing a whole bunch of stuff when he was in the Akatsuki, but the Akatsuki still ran wild and did whatever basically they wanted. And the only thing that he was really doing was just giving information. He was basically just, he was being a sly ninja. You know what I'm saying? That's all he was doing for the Leaf Village, and giving Donzo the heads up of what was going on. But if you really want to say anything, anyone who did any redemption was Sasuke. Really, he was the one who actually defeated Donzo. He's the one who actually helped defeat, or help get Itachi to be able to save his soul and everything like that. You know what I'm saying? It was really Sasuke who really did it, even though he's still working towards doing better for the world per se by being in the shadows, basically taking over his brother's role. So in a sense, Sasuke took over Itachi's whole thing, and for redemption, for the clan and for his people. You know what I'm saying? So Itachi really didn't get the chance to really fulfill that goal and ambition, because he didn't want to kill his brother. He didn't want to have that power. Now, if he got rid of his brother, he would have still been alive, and he wouldn't have been killed through his sickness of using his eye power too much. You know what I'm saying? So he really didn't get a chance to really get a redemption. But Kratos killed them all off, and then ended up living a regular life. But even then, now he's trying to teach his son how to basically survive. And in the middle of all that, his son is finally realizing, like, oh shit, my dad did some crazy shit that I wasn't even aware of. Because his son was a big ass brat in the M4. So
He was. Yeah,
you know what I
was.
mean. Just because he didn't have an understanding of anything. He didn't understand anything. Only thing he know his father as a hunter. He didn't know his father was fucking chopping down gods and
yeah, he didn't know his dad was Kratos. Like he didn't
want him to be part
first
of
of all,
life.
yeah, and first of all, you have to understand this dude went from to hide his past. He went from Greek to Norse mythology.
He went from one mythology to another.
Yeah.
I don't want nobody to know who I am.
So it's
he went from Greek to the Nordics, and that's when he ended up going up towards the north. Now it's a whole new set of gods that he got messed with. But those gods like, yo, we know who the fuck you are. You killed off our brethren, our cousins, because in that world, all gods is basically just different families. It's like we're all the same family, but it's like we're married into different sectors type shit. You know what I'm saying? We're all deities, so we're all family in that aspect. You know what I'm saying? And and that's another thing we was talking about the last time. You got gods versus ninjas. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? It's like you can't really compare, because who Kratos defeated, Itachi didn't defeat nobody as powerful. You know what I'm saying? Like on screen, Itachi didn't beat anybody. Really on screen, you know what I'm saying? He smacked his brother around a couple times. He smacked Kakashi around a couple times. That was it. That's all we saw him.
Smacked up
Kisame. You know what I mean? And the Kisame fight was off screen. That's video game, But Kisame was like, oh shit, yeah, like he did smack him up when he hit him in a genjutsu, and Kisame was ready to take his own head off. And he was like, yeah, don't do that. So what are you doing? He said this, played him. He was just like, oh, played him. Now who was the smoothest out of all of them? You gotta remember, Kratos. The only reason why God of War was so popular because he was smashing bitches in the very beginning. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Any game, I feel like. He just didn't do this one.
Sometimes you gotta do it.
I think he didn't do it in this one, didn't he?
Nah, he didn't do it in 4. He already had a wife and everything. He had a child, so. But remember, his whole family was already killed off, and then he became a vessel of war for the gods, and that's when he ended up. It was like, oh, we was just using you for your prowess as a warrior. He was just like, what? You done took everything away from me. For that, Itachi, he was more or less, he was always that dude who was very even keeled. Kratos was never even keeled. You know what I'm saying? So their actions and how they did things was way different. Kratos was to more the extreme guy. Kratos was more or less that jock who played football, who was sitting there slamming down beers all the time, doing keg stands and being that wild dude. While Itachi was a dude who was all in his books, and he was the cool kid, but he was the cool kid who was the leader of drama club, like that elf dude from Beastars. You know what I'm saying? That was his demeanor. But he was always a cool, even keeled dude. He had that demeanor, but he was still the strongest cat there is. It was more or less he looked down on people, not looked down on people, but it was like, if you ain't on my mental level, I'm not messing with you like that type of thing. You know what I mean? That was what I kind of got from him when he was doing his thing. But yeah, man, I mean, who else is there for you to really, for that? Like I said, Kratos had more of a redemption than Itachi. Itachi, he didn't really change a cult. He changed the culture by killing off all his people, but it didn't really stop the world from turning. I mean, it could have been real worse. It could have went back to it being in war times, but that kind of wasn't his choice. Kratos chose to kill off everybody. He, you know, he chose to do that. He was like, yo, y'all messing with me to this point, I'm about to off all you. When Itachi was, yo, my people are going crazy, you know, let me just do this, because if I don't do this, everybody's going to die, including me. If I do it this way, I'll be able to protect one person. You know, he decided to choose one person. Kratos didn't save anybody until the last one, and that was just his son. You know what I'm saying? You know, he was just trying to teach his son, like, yo, man, shit is real out here. I mean, stuff is real out here. You know, and well, you gotta, you know what I mean? So he's like, it's real out here. Like you think it's all, you know, kisses and rainbows. But you know, just because we live in this cottage, you know what I mean, this is all we know. And he was like, I'm trying to show you the simpler things. And his son is like, yo, I don't, you know, whatever, Pop.
Not down
but see,
for
at least
stuff.
Exactly. I mean, Itachi had Sasuke. At least Sasuke grew up. You know what I'm saying? So in his redemption, only thing that he worried about saving was his son. So in the case, I mean, his brother, and that's all he cared about, was saving his brother. And in that regard, he did do that, and he also had his brother open his eyes to what Itachi wanted to. So in a sense, his redemption was a little bit more.
It was passed on more than he had it himself.
Exactly. Well, Kratos, it was all about himself, and after he did that, you know, he wallowed. You know, he wallowed in his own self doings. You know what I'm saying? Itachi. Okay, so in that case, Itachi, since he went out with a smile, Kratos never smiled. At least Itachi went out with a smile.
You're right.
And so,
well, because that's the only thing he wanted to do. He wanted to make sure that his little brother was okay. You know.
So I guess in that sense, Itachi wins when it comes to fulfillment in oneself, and Kratos isn't fulfilled because he's still going. I mean, but he did redeem himself from trying to be that killer. But remember, he went back to being a killer. He went back to killing.
He had to.
Because they was coming at him.
In order to protect his son, he had to become a killer again.
You know, so his redemption story.
So that was out of necessity, not necessarily a want.
True. You know, same thing with Itachi. He didn't. Well, in the newer version, he didn't want to do it. But and even with Itachi, he didn't say that he wanted to. He just one of the things that he had to do because it was going to happen anyway. And if not, it was going to be all out war again. You know what I'm saying? And it was just like, yeah, we can't have another war. And this was all around the same time, a little bit after, you know, the village was attacked by Obito. So, you know, it's like so many different stories that's intertwined with that one, with Itachi, because, you know, Itachi wasn't a main dude. Kratos is the main cat. So you can't, you know, a main cat story versus a side character story, you know, the main character normally wins out. Side characters, their stories normally end quicker. You know what I'm saying? Or fulfilled a little bit simpler because their story's entangled with the main character. Now, when you're the main character, your whole thing is going to be jumbled up with a whole bunch of different characters. You know what I mean? So, it's very difficult when you put it into that aspect. But if you were to say who redeemed themselves, only person that Itachi wanted to redeem himself to is Sasuke, and he did that. Sasuke turned his whole thing around and he turned into Itachi. So in the case, he was the one who fulfilled his things out more. Kratos, it was only until the fourth one when he wanted to, you know, show someone how to try to live and try to live by. His son kind of saw it, but until they come out with 5, we don't know what's going to happen with that. So that story's a little bit ongoing because they're going to make a 5 because 4 did so well, and hopefully his son's a little bit bigger, and they're going to end up. You know, I think the last boss was the half breed, right? That was the last boss on that one. Was when he fought the half breed.
The last boss in God of War was when, when he fought. Man, I can't fucking remember.
I forgot the name. I haven't
Yeah,
played
yeah,
in.
like I
ended up
fucking
I've
coming
forgot
back
his
to
seen
the
name.
someone
house.
play
Yeah,
it.
They ended up coming back to the crib, and when they came back to the crib, the dude who basically started them on this journey
yeah, the
popped
one who
up and ended
started
up
looking
killing
for
him.
him in the beginning is like, oh, we know who you are, we know what you do, da da da. Started looking
Hmm.
for him. Yeah, they kill him,
Hmm.
and he was under that whole protection spell of like, oh, you can't die because you can't feel anything.
Hmm. Exactly. Exactly. You just kept spawning him. He's like, I can't feel none of this, man. You hitting
And I,
me, but I can't feel none of this. He's like, I'm immortal, bro. You can't kill me because I'm immortal. And
yeah,
then
so
Kratos ended up killing him. No, I think he ended up getting away, right?
no, no. What it was is that he had there was a weakness that he had, so it was from there.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
No, so yeah, so if that's the case, then they're gonna end up having it to the point where his son's gonna end up being older and probably be doing more things with God stuff. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, because his mom was supposed to be a priestess, right?
She was a giant.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
She was the
She was a
last giant.
yeah. Well, she was a frost giant, right? If I believe correctly.
I don't know. They never showed her.
Well,
Uh,
giants in Nordic times are all frost giants. In the Nordics, their
mm-hmm.
giants are frost giants. In
Yeah,
Nordic
they never
things.
showed her, so I don't know what
I know
she
he
looked
went
like or
to. I know
anything.
that they ended up going to her
Yeah,
area and
her
all
like
that.
the basically like the whole point of the game was to spread her ashes in her homeland.
Hmm.
It was the whole point of the game. It's like, oh, you're gonna teach your son how to fight and everything, and like he's gonna learn along the way on like what to do. But like the whole point of the game was to take your mother's ashes and spread them at the highest point in all the lands, and that just happened to be where her home is. Oh, it's supposed to.
Hmm.
Oh yeah,
So
that's
he
that.
went. Yeah. So I mean, out of who fulfilled their life, God of War had a family, lost it, and he made a new family. You know what I'm
mm-hmm.
saying? So he's not living through anybody. Itachi is living through Sasuke, really. And Sasuke did start up a new family. You know what I'm saying? So they're both even on that front. You know what I'm saying? Because Itachi's will went straight to Sasuke, so his will still goes on. His will of fire still goes on.
Mm-hmm.
And then in God of War, he's still alive, still doing his thing. Like his son is most likely going to take up arms like he did. You know what I'm saying? So then his son will end up, living through it out because at the same time, I believe in that one, they were still doing the whole hierarchy between gods and mortals and all that, and even the hierarchy inside the god realm. He's still dealing with that hierarchy of supremacy. So maybe his son will end up, because remember, Loki is the god of mischief, and he goes against the whole grain of superiority.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So he might end up, if they go towards that route, then he's going to end up picking up Kratos' um, whole mythology of, you know, killing out anyone who thinks that they're better than regular life. Because now
Yeah,
Kratos,
yeah.
before, he was all about riches and glory. Now he's about living simple. You know what I'm saying? So now it's like, who's going to end up doing that? But I say Itachi, in the long run, Itachi did die off, and he can't act anymore. So he was more fulfilled in his thing because he actually passed. Kratos didn't die, so his will is not fulfilled because only
I
time
feel like
anything.
Kratos died more times than Itachi could count.
Well, yeah, true that. Yeah, he did die and come
He
back,
just
die and
died and
come
came
back.
back so many times for
Mhm.
no reason.
Mhm. You know, because he's chained, man. He's chained to the struggle. So, he's never going to have redemption because he's chained to the struggle. It's almost like we was talking about Himotep. You could kill him, but then he ends up coming back. So then it just starts it all over again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So he's in this eternal. struggle
Luke.
between the powers that be. He is an eternal struggle. There's no redemption because he's never going to be finished. Because as long as they are God to kill, they're going to want to come at Kratos because he's a God slayer. But that's
Well,
simple
then I
fact.
blame the gods for that because it's not Kratos' fault.
Hmm. Exactly. They keep beefing with him. That's what I'm saying. It will never be over because as soon as one god dies, the other god's like, yo, this dude over here is he may not be doing anything, but he's threatening my existence by him just being here. Anybody who's in any type of power, kings, braziers, anything that has to deal with power, they're always trying to, even with how it is like nowadays, the United States, how we be beefing with other countries, how countries be beefing with each other because it's like, yo, you have a military power. You may not have it pointed at me, but you could point it at me.
Mm-hmm.
So just because you could point it at me, you're a threat. You know what I'm saying? So, it's like if you have a gun, like everybody got a gun. You know what I'm saying? It's like if nobody has a gun if everybody has swords and one person has a gun, and that one person is not even messing with anybody, the dudes with swords know that we could all fight and kill each other, but this dude right here could kill all of us, and we at least with us we know we have a fighting chance. With him, we have no fighting chance. So, we need to take that dude out so that we could go about business as usual. Like, I want to kill you, but even if I kill you, this dude, he just has to sit there on his porch and clock us off. You know what I mean? So, you go after the dude with the gun.
That.
You know what I'm saying? You go after the dude with the gun. It's like, we like
I
all
like
three
the
of us. We
analogy that
all
Kratos is the guy with the gun.
Yeah, Kratos
I
is
like
the guy
that
with
analogy.
the gun. Yeah,
Kratos
he's the
doesn't
guy
use
with the
guns,
gun.
but Kratos is the guy with the gun.
He got the golden bullet, man. He got the golden gun. He has a golden gun. We could sit here and we war with each other. We've been doing this for eons.
That's
Us three have been doing this for eons. We've been warring with each other for eons, and we might take a
It
hand.
just
It
get
got to the point
tiring
where,
sometimes.
yeah, exactly. That's
It
why they
literally
need him back.
get tiring sometimes.
You
Like
know what I mean?
we've been
And
doing this
then now we got a
for
guy
so
gunning.
long, and
Mm-hmm.
like there's really no end point. We're internal. We might as well just stop the beefing now and try to come over the agreement and restart something. I don't know why we were
That's when they
beefing in the
make
first place.
their worlds. That's when they make
So,
that's when they make their own rules and regulations, and that's why the gods have their hierarchies. It's like, we
hmm
could all sit here and fight and kill each other, but that's not going to do us any good, to do that because, what am I going to do if I take out all my enemies that are on my level now? But if someone comes in that messes up that whole ordeal that we have, we got to go after that guy because he's messing
hmm
up. He's a threat to what we established. So
he's a bigger threat than you are to me.
exactly. So
And
I could care
not the
less
funny
about you.
part. And that's the funny part. We could tag team. Doesn't matter. But is it the point that hey, we've been fighting for eons?
Like I know
Like
you better than than we know these other guys. So let's take him out. 'Cause we don't
yeah.
know what's gonna happen.
The moment they catch us sleeping, it's a wrap. I'm just gonna tell you that right now. So I might as well say like, hey, let's pause the battle between us. Let's deal with this one right now.
Majin Vegeta and Kakarot when Boo came out.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. And yeah, it's like, we gotta stop what we doing here. Like, we could sit here and do this. I enjoy fighting you. We could sit here and do this until, we both killed over. This is the only thing you wanted. He never wanted to kill Goku. He was like, yo, I want a good battle, man. I want to fight you. I want to fight you to your fullest and my fullest. That's all I want. And
Mm-hmm.
now someone comes in and he's a threat to what we doing right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know you feel that. So why are we even doing this? Like, come on, let's go out and do this. And he said, I bet. And then that's when he ended up getting
he got
his ass smacked, which is fine. You know, to one of the most devastating, or one of those most deserved deaths. And I would say deserved as in he didn't deserve to well, he did deserve to get killed the way Frieza killed him, but it was more of a, what, he went out on his shield. He went out on his shield, not like a bitch. You know what I'm
Wait,
saying?
who are
Like
we talking about?
that's the
Right,
death
John,
that
what?
Vegeta.
Oh, Vegeta?
That's the death that, yeah, that's the death that Vegeta needed, was that was his redemption. Him basically giving his soul up so that giving himself up so that everybody else could live. You know what I'm saying? That's a true death. You know what I'm saying? That's a true noble death, doing it that way.
All
Other
right,
than,
so
you
then,
crying.
in that sense, Itachi had the same kind of death, and
Hmm.
I want to say he may have had a better redemption than Kratos, since Kratos is still fighting and protecting.
Hmm. Exactly. That's what we were saying. Like, Kratos is still going. Itachi, he did have his redemption, and he changed the person's mind. You know what I'm saying? Kratos is still going. Like, ain't nobody changed. Nobody mind changed. If anything, his son is just more awoken to what's going on and what he's actually a part of. You know, his son is getting more acknowledgement of who he is. Itachi was like, "Yo, bro, I'm leaving it all up to you, man. I know you can do it." He said, "Out of everybody who was there, you had the most potential. I believe in you. Go ahead, go out there and be great. Protect the world." And he was just like, "I bet, bro." And then, I mean, Sasuke had his own way of doing it, but he did it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So Itachi is going to win this one because he actually has an ending, and in his ending, changed lives. Kratos, they ended it before they came out with 4. We would have been like, yeah, Kratos had basically the more impactful, you know what I'm saying, redemption, because his changed the whole culture, has changed the whole world. You know what I'm saying? But when they came out with 4, they done destroyed all that. Because now it's a whole, he killed off all the Greek gods, all of them.
Yeah, he did.
And
He
then
killed all
now
of
we
them.
got Nordics. You know what I'm saying? Now we got Nordic gods. So it was like, okay, so, and we thought that in God of War, that was the only, because every religion has their own gods. That's what they was going to do. They wasn't going to shift him to more gods. But
Yeah,
now they
but
done opened up the universe,
they
saying
said,
like, yo, every
yeah,
god
we changed that.
from every god from every civilization is basically going to be in this now. By them doing 4, it was like, well, he killed off all the Greeks. Well, there's the Egyptian gods, there's Nordic gods, there's Chinese gods, Japanese gods, African gods.
We have
You know what I'm
more
saying?
gods.
We put all the
Yeah,
gods in this one.
let's put in all the gods, but what we gonna do? Go with first? Let's go with the Nordic ones because now, boom. So by them adding the Nordics in there, the Nordic gods, or the Viking gods in there, you basically just crossed into a different dimension at that point. Now you're basically saying anything goes, because if one set of gods was already taken care of, now you got another set. Because it should have been over after 3. It should have been over after 3. After he killed you,
I feel you on that one, honestly.
it should have been over. It should have been done because that's where they started and that's where they ended at. Because the Greeks are more for fighting. Everybody knows the Greek gods for fighting. Same thing with with Roman gods too. So, but they're all in the same timeline. You know what I'm saying? So when he went ahead and took out all the war ones, and now you coming out with the Nordics, and I'm like, yeah, the Vikings were war savvy too, but I'm like, shit, guys, come on, man. I thought it was over. 3 should have been it. Should have been in after 3, but by you doing 4, you opened up another can. So now it's just like, yeah, there's no redemption now, because now his transactions that happened from before are following him even till this day. So it's just like, even when he started a whole new family, smashing gargantuan Amazons and shit, you know what I mean? So it's like, come on, man.
Gargantuans. They gotta go.
You know what I mean? I would have called her a regular Amazon, but she's a giant, so she's a gargantuan, so a gargantuan size Amazon. Matter of fact, it'll be just like how it was with the Futurama one when it was like, give me some schnoo schnoo.
Snoo, snoo.
Mhm. Said the heart is willing, but the flesh is not. It's all bruised and battered.
Right? Go up the ladder.
Yeah. You know?
Go up the ladder. Get your snoo, snoo.
Yeah, I mean, so, but yeah, Itachi wins
Ow,
that one.
stab me.
Itachi wins that one, and in that aspect, that was a good one though. But that's what I would say. What you guys say?
Oh yeah, I think that was good. Definitely.
I totally agree.
Because I
man.
was just really like, oh, I should probably block. I remember to block now.
I totally agree with you actually, because Itachi had a story, and he went out making sure that his little brother was safe. So, you know, even though Itachi did all this with the help of Madara / Obito, whatever you want to call at this point, those two. At the end of the day, Itachi stood right there and watched his brother, his little brother. Even with the two fights they had.
Yeah, man.
That
He went there and he did what he had to do.
And remember, on top of that, even when Obito tried to claim him, he gave him Maseratu.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? He passed that on to Sasuke.
And he sealed and he took out Orochimaru from there. He helped him with the curse mark and all that.
And you know? He put this dude in a loop.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Kabuto changed Kabuto's life. You know what I'm saying? Changed Kabuto's life, and that's two people he affected right there, and even in a sense changed Orochimaru because.
Orochimaru stopped going after people because now that Itachi stopped him from going after Sasuke, Sasuke can kill him on sight, literally.
And then he basically was like, yo, one of the greatest ninjas ever entrusted the future to you. I want to see this future that Itachi, because remember, who he really wanted was Itachi, was his ultimate go-to. But then he was like, who was closest to the Rinnegan and everything. But he couldn't do that. So he was like, I'm gonna go after the cub. And then he was like, then he said, Itachi was like, that cub's gonna be something special. You need to watch it. Then now he's like, you know what? I want to sit back and see what's actually gonna happen. You know, I'm done trying to be a god. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of this trying to be a god nonsense. I'm gonna just sit back and just do my experiments and help out the best way possible. That's why he had his quote unquote son pop up. He was like, I want to give it a shot. Go out there and be somebody.
Yeah, basically.
I'm gonna give you everything that is perfect in me, and go out there and be somebody. Let me see what you gonna do. You know what I'm saying? With the next generation. You know, so in a sense, he changed a lot of people's minds on that front. You know what I'm saying? By his actions alone and what he did in back scenes. Like I said, we don't know all of everything Itachi's done because he wasn't a main character on screen. Kratos, we know everything Kratos has done because he was the main character on screen. Itachi, I mean, out of maybe we seen him 10 times the most. You know what I mean? It's just insane. It's the only reason why we know much about Itachi is because of the games. We know how he fights, his moveset and everything is because of video games. You know, this motherfucker never did any of that real shit. The most he did was crow motherfuckers. I mean, crow people. Most
that was the go-to. That genjutsu shit is go-to. You
go
look at it, you call it a genjutsu.
You know, like Itachi never threw fists like that, man. You know, he just looked at you and basically, I could kill you. You know, I'm gonna stab you 1,000,000 times, and only pass 1 second out in the real world. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna kill you 1,000,000 times in 1 second. Yes. It was like what? That was the boss part. That was boss. Like, this dude doesn't even have to move to beat you. You know, or he could just go ahead and just torch everything with a fire that doesn't go out. So he could activate his fire. You could kill him, but the fire will still never dissipate. You know, it kind of reminds me of go into One Piece when the Fire Admiral and the Lava Admiral went at each other, and then they changed the landscape. Them dudes not even there no more. They done changed the landscape to the point where that's how it is. Like that's Itachi. Like if he was to take over and burn down a whole forest, and then only thing that would be there is just ground and fire.
Okay. Yeah.
It's like that's just retarded. Retardo, man. Ejectocito, cuz.
For real. Ejectocito, everything. You gotta go. You gotta go. Alright, now in that sense, let me ask you this. Who would win in a fight? Motherfucker, I'm tired of this. Between Kratos and Itachi. Full power, both of them. And yes, Kratos has fought gods.
Yeah, Itachi never got Mangekyo. You gotta remember that. He never had Mangekyo. So if he was to say if he was at the full of the level 2, he went full on. Like Itachi, he was known as one of the strongest ninjas ever at a young age. You know, but Kratos, man, he fought against Titans. I mean, even though Itachi could make a Titan, basically, he could basically make a Titan. Kratos fought against Titans and killed them on God level, who could also change the terrain and basically be a cataclysm fighter. He fought against cataclysm fighters. That's facts. He fought and destroyed.
Now, let me just throw this in there in the mix. So, with Kratos fighting Titans, he fought everything physical. Mm-hmm. Itachi deals with illusions.
Mm-hmm.
So just throw that in perspective real quick. Everything that Kratos fought, everything was physical. Everything that he could touch, everything that he could beat up, everything that he fought could bleed to some degree. Whereas when you're fighting Itachi, you're basically fighting your own mind. You're fighting, the metaphysical, something that either isn't real but you can feel, or something that's real that you can't hit.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, he never had to deal with whatchamacallit, Genjutsu, but he was kind of in Genjutsu, the lie that these guys are telling him. Would you say that?
Yeah, you can say that.
But he's never fought someone like Itachi, though. You know what I'm saying? And Itachi's never fought anyone with as brutish strength as Kratos.
With as much, yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, he fought against a whole bunch of strong shinobi, but, Itachi normally just dodges or he just goes Susanoo. Like, when he was, the only fight that we saw Itachi really fight real hard in was against Sasuke, but remember, most of that was all Genjutsu fighting, when they were basically just trading Genjutsus back and forth. Only time we saw him really fight was when he went up against Naruto, when him and Pain or Nagato was both being controlled, and when he fought against dude with the glasses. Even when he fought, but every time we saw him fight, he fought with someone beside of him. Sasuke was beside of him. Nagato was beside of him. Kisame was beside of him.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime we saw him do anything, he was always with another person. Kratos, we know that he goes hand in hand by himself. You know what I'm saying? We just saw him fight side by side with his kid, but his kid was playing more support than anything else. With his piece and taps from a distance. So it's like, it's like pulling straws at that point.
Besides, I don't even think you can put them in the battle together. Because we talk about Tachi full stream. Remember, Tachi have that sickness on him.
Hmm.
So
That's what
even
I'm saying. Itachi at full strength can basically was it wasn't even him when he was reanimated, because even though he could use Izanami and everything like that, he wasn't at full strength
Hmm.
because they diluted his powers to give him infinite chakra.
Yeah, the reanimation, exactly. So, he basically was able to go as hard as he could. You know what I'm saying? And they also gave him both of his eyes, so he did have his eyes powered up.
when he was whatchamacallit. But
Like I said, at the same time, like I said, we don't know Itachi. That's the only thing we could go by is his, because in the actual show, he never went all out. You know what I mean?
mm-hmm.
Like only time you ever really see him go all out is in video games, and that's why I said I hate. I mean, even though God of War is all a video game, it's just like, come on. It's just hard when you have a video game character versus an anime character. That's also
True,
kind
true.
of hard to try to say who does what because video game characters that's all they do is fight and stuff like that. So you could
Mm-hmm.
always put them in like that. You know what I mean? Now, if we was to do like who else is a singular? If we was to do like well, not even
I
Dante. I was going to throw Dante against Kratos, but then Dante would lose that battle also, I believe, against Kratos because Kratos just has stronger. Well, remember, Dante's weapons is made from demons, and Kratos' weapon is made from gods, from slaying gods and slaying demons. So that would be a little bit more of a fight, even though I think Kratos will win that one too because it's fucking Kratos.
Mm-hmm.
I always give gods more powers than demons. You know what I mean?
Yeah, especially if they have weapons that kill demons automatically.
Hmm.
No, no, that's a,
Hey,
that's
that's what I
that's
go for. Like I want to put you guys in. What the? I'm dying. I'm over here dying heavily.
Oh
it's
God.
just let me see if I can break this down. All right, you say Itachi have full power, right?
Yeah.
Hmm.
That means that he's not going to have his
His
I
illness.
died.
yeah, but
No.
also at the same time, remember he don't have a every
Yeah,
time he
level
uses
two.
his eyes
Level three almost.
is make him weaker. So
Hmm.
you really can't say, oh, put him at full power because we already know what the weakness is about his eyes. Every time you
Hmm.
use the eyes, you get weaker. If you don't have the same pair, then you can do some damage. Now, if you want to go Kratos versus Madara, okay, then which Madara? You have the first when he fight the first Hokage, him when he came back to life, reanimated, or the third when he became a Telbeast.
Hmm.
Which
Yeah,
one
that
you
would
want
be
to pick?
a more of a fight.
That'd
Well,
be
then
more
you
of a
would
fight
have to
than
go.
Itachi versus Kratos.
Hmm.
Madara and Telbeast form versus Kratos.
Yeah,
God versus
versus
God.
Kratos. Yeah,
'Cause
God
at this
versus
point,
God. That would
he
be a
have
better fight.
yeah. At this point, he have all 9 beasts in him versus a person that basically got turned into a god because of his bloodlust for fighting.
Hmm.
So I will pair that battle up. But with Itachi, he still have a major weakness that every time he uses his eyes, he's killing himself.
Yeah, we can't do any what if he did get it because he didn't.
Yeah,
We gotta go by what's in the
yeah,
story.
gotta go by with the story. So now you have 2 Itachis. So you
Hmm.
have the Itachi that got killed by Sasuke himself, or you got reanimated Itachi. Now, if we want to talk about reanimated Itachi, it kind of have a battle because he could probably put Kratos in that in Izanami or in Zangief.
Mm-hmm.
So and put Kratos into that realm of, okay, then I gotta start doing the same thing what he did to Kabuto.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he got to put him in that infinite loop.
Yeah, if
But
you put
even when
him
he does that, even when he did that, he loses an eye when he puts you in that infinite loop.
exactly.
So he gets
So
weaker when he does that anyway.
yeah, exactly. So now it's like I really can't put Itachi versus a Kratos. That's not a good matchup. Now for the redemption, yes, I would say Itachi won this one
Mm-hmm.
because of the fact that there's now another game, a God of War.
Mm-hmm.
But if there was no other God of War, then I'm going to put a draw on that one because Itachi did what he did, and he didn't. He said it himself. I did it for the Leaf Village. That was his own mission. He didn't like the mission, but you know what? He said, "Listen, along with my little brother, I don't kill him. I can do whatever. Bet, let's do it." But not once he said he regrets. He said, "No, I did it for the Leaf. I did it for the village I represented. I left because I felt like I did something. I did a thing to my clan personally. That's why I went rogue.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, I'm still part of the Leaf Village."
Mm-hmm.
Now Itachi could have all that time to destroy the Leaf Village.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he could have been destroyed.
He could have been destroyed. The Akatsuki could have been destroyed the Leaf Village.
That's if it was really his goal.
Yeah, if that was really his goal. But no, he didn't. He wanted to make sure Sasuke was getting stronger. Because Itachi already knew Madara was still alive. He already knew the plans and the plots.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Exactly.
you know, we got to put in retrospect that Itachi is a strategist.
Yeah.
And he mind games. That whole first part of the fight was a mind game.
So Kratos. Look, don't forget that Kratos was the commander of the entire Spartan army.
Yeah, I know. But when you get inside people's head, that's Itachi games all day.
Oh, yeah.
Now, think about it. Kratos is already in rage. Itachi could use that all day.
Mm-hmm.
Because the moment you in rage...
In the fourth one, he learned to control it to a certain degree. Like,
yeah,
yes,
to a certain
he's always
degree.
Angry, and similar to the Hulk, he's always angry, but he learned to control it and use it for his benefit.
Mm-hmm. So... It's a slippery slope on this one.
Oh yeah, so I feel like if you want to put Kratos versus Itachi, if you want to say like full power, I think that Kratos could outlast Itachi because he has so many weapons in his arsenal and he uses a whole lot of brute force in general.
Mm-hmm.
But what about if they were just basic? No extra power, so no Sharingan, no Mangekyo, just regular ninja versus Spartan commander.
Well, that's a whole fight. I will give it to Kratos then, because Kratos can fight more. You know,
So
even
Itachi can fight.
Yeah, but the thing is, versus, you have to still understand he's a god at the end of the day.
No, that's what I'm saying. Without the power, without any of the powers.
He's just saying, and if we're just doing base joints again.
Base, like just straight base with no power, straight base.
Talking about warrior versus a ninja.
Mm-hmm. That's what we're basically doing now. We're basically having to say warriors versus ninjas at this point.
Yeah.
Which is basically we're doing
Let's see.
a war type of deal.
And that right there is a Final Fantasy battle.
No, that's not a Final Fantasy battle. No, that's a For Honor battle.
Mm-hmm.
To be exact, that's a For Honor battle. That's something that I see on War at Arms, or what was the other one that they were
That
testing?
one that they used to do, Deadliest Warrior.
Yeah, Deadliest Warrior.
Oh
Now
yeah.
this is a
Oh
Deadliest
yeah.
Warrior now. So you
Mm-hmm.
really, that's what I say. I gotta. And now we're taking everything off, and we're using to, to techniques now of warrior versus ninja. I have to say it's a tie because it could go both ways. Because Itachi can be stealthy.
Yeah.
Kratos is brute force.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Kratos is just going to straight smash stuff, you know. That's
Yeah, but
I feel
Itachi.
like, but all right, like, let me ask you this, because if you wanna really boil it down, it comes to reaction time. Who you think would have better reaction time? A ninja who's trained in stealth and surprise kills, or an experienced war veteran who indulges in one versus many all the time?
Mm-hmm. Well, then my next question would be, where would the fight take place?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Is it going to be on a flat plain land, or is it going to be somewhere where there's a lot of obstacles? Now you have to choose the battleground, because it
Yeah.
all depends on the battleground. Because if it was an open field, Kratos would have more of an advantage, because
Yeah.
ninjas are supposed
He
to be
could see
stealthy.
Itachi no matter where he goes.
Exactly. Now, if he was having it in the forest, I would give it to Itachi, because there's more obstacles, there's more places for him to go ahead and jump around and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So it's the same thing how we was talking about with with our other battle
Yeah,
that we had the other day.
the Battle
You
of
know, if it's going
Sands.
to be on, yeah, exactly. If it's going to have a battle of straight sand, they need to be in the Sahara or something where there's no water. And they all have an advantage at that point. But in this one, it all depends. If you were to put them on a flat plane, Kratos would have that hands down, because he's better at one-on-one fighting straight up. You know what I mean? A ninja using chakra-based techniques. If we're just talking about hand-to-hand, Itachi's great when it comes to hand-to-hand combat too. But again, we never seen him. We only saw him fight against many. Also, even he fought people on grasslands too, and he was
Yeah.
whooping up on people.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, Itachi is a person who excels at everything.
Mm-hmm. And he studies.
So, hmm you know, so he excelled at everything, physical, mental, and all that. So it's like, what we gonna do with it at that point? But I say, if it was like in a forest or something like that, I would give it to Kratos. I mean, I'll give it to Itachi, if you give me an area where he excels at. But if it's going to be, like, you gotta remember, like the Greeks and all them, they all fought on regular
Every
land.
every kind of
Hmm
every kind of
Yeah, the
battlefield.
Greeks and the Romans, they fought everywhere. You know, especially when they went up against um these guys. What is it? When the Romans went after the people in the forest and all that. You
Yeah.
know, I can't remember who it was that they remember they fought there too, even though they was fighting against elephants and all this other stuff like that. You know, they fought against all that. The Persians, there it is. When they went up against the Persians were more jungle orientated people and safari people, but they still was able to put up a decent fight. I mean, granted, the Romans basically lost that fight and all that good stuff, but still, you know what I'm saying? They could put up a fight now. We never seen Japanese or Chinese folks go up against Persians. We
It's
saw them go
true.
up against
It's true.
Europeans. You know what I'm saying? So we don't know how we saw them go up against Europeans, but Europeans was coming over with cannons and shit like that, and powdered guns. You know what I'm saying? The
Mm-hmm.
Chinese and Japanese adapted to that because they were more on the business route than anything else. So in feudal times, when ninjas and shit was active, they were doing more things with trade as a civilization. Romans weren't really trading with anybody. They were trading with just. Remember, the Romans and the Greeks fought against each other. They hated each other
Yeah.
for the most part. You know what I'm saying?
True.
So,
And it's
it's
stupid
kinda,
how both Romans and Greeks fight each other, but and they live in the same country. That's what bothered me about it. You live in the same area. Y'all fought because y'all wanted to worship different gods. That was basically the main fight. The Greeks was with the Olympians, the Romans was with the demigods. Even and it's stupid because most of those guys, both Romans and Greeks, they work together. So it's like, why y'all fighting for it? You got the same goddamn god. Y'all even took Egyptian gods and put them in Romans.
You know, sometimes you just gotta.
There's like five Egyptian gods that's part of the Romans. That part of the Romans god list in Egyptian and Greek mythology. So for them fighting,
sometimes you just gotta lay down the wall. You know what I'm saying?
Sometimes it's stupid, but anyway, I digress.
It sounds kind of stupid.
But it depends on where the field is at. If it's grasslands, Kratos have to catch it. Yeah, if it's grassland, I'm still gonna say it's a draw. If it's grassland, if it's a plain field,
I feel like it all depends on where it goes. Because if you think about it, yeah, Itachi could have Kratos, like, if it's a whole bunch of trees, obstacles, like, yeah, Itachi could have Kratos to a certain degree until he runs out of shit to use.
Exactly. Kratos is just going to come at you with his sword and everything, you know. And
you
got to talk about ninja tools.
Yeah, as long as he doesn't drop.
Yeah, that's what I said. You have to. Yeah, you have to talk about their intellect. Now you got to talk about the battle of wits. From there, remember Itachi is a genius, and of course, Kratos is a war officer
and a genius when it comes to war and battle.
Yeah,
exactly.
So
he's a genius when it comes to fighting. Like he'll make a way out of no way. That's why God chose him as a mortal. Like this dude right here, his fighting prowess is that on God's tier. We could use him. He was perfect when it comes to he was a killing machine. He was a perfect killing machine for Ares. He's just like, yo, this dude right here, he's making my job
like on playing field. I give it to Kratos. Kratos. If I don't know,
you gonna give it to Kronos. You gonna give it to a Titan? He's not even in the fight.
I don't know why his name came to my head. Anyway,
Kratos killed him too.
But in like forest wise, I gotta give it a draw. It could be anybody's match. So
I feel that.
Because you still gotta understand, you still have a brute warrior versus a ninja, so your timing have to be on point. One slip move and you're already done.
Can I?
So
you're right.
That's the thing. It's like I can't believe I actually bring Yu-Gi-Oh because I'm actually playing it. It's like who could sum out their powerful monster the quickest? Who could set their fill up quickest? That's basically how it is in fighting.
That's the whole thing. Is like Itachi as a ninja they're taught to really kill in one go without any real resistance.
Yeah.
So
and look, and we all know that Kratos isn't gonna sit here and take one lethal hit and be like, "Alright, you got me. I'm gonna lay down."
You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Like he's going to take.
But that's why I said that, and that's why I said that. Yo, it's going to be that fight is going to be. Yeah, it could go both ways. So, in my case, it could go both ways. But on a plain field, open field, no. Itachi is not going to. Yeah, that's a children's book that's not going to get published.
The children's book.
That's a children's
Okay.
book that's not going to get published.
Okay.
You know, that's what I'm saying. Like he's not, is not, he is
He's
not
not built. He's
going to be a
Itachi's
fair
not
fight.
built for. He's built for physical battle, but not like brute force physical battle.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he
All
could
right.
do
So
all the
I'm gonna take it a
jutsu.
little bit. I'm gonna take it a little bit of a step further. Kratos versus Hashirama. They're both straight up brute force if you really think about it.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's why you gonna give Kratos back his stuff. Well, then, you know, Hashirama is basically the world's strongest ninja at that point. So you're basically
Yeah.
taking, which would be a better fight. Like you said, Itachi's nasty, but he's not the strongest guy out there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
You some
No
realize
way
Black
near.
Dragon? You bitch.
Nowhere near it. So I would probably give it to Hashirama now. We're gonna have it where he has his stuff back. He gonna have all his
Yeah. They got all their powers and stuff back. But remember this. I'm just gonna put this out there. Kratos can heal the same way Hashirama can.
hmm,
The only thing is Hashirama can use the earth and everything, and Kratos can destroy the earth and everything.
mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying. It's a battle of semantics.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because does Kratos still have all his equipment? Because remember, he's an equipment guy too. That's why it's also a good fight because it's all about the equipments that they
What they
have.
have, yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm pretty
I mean,
sure if he has everything, then he has all the equipment that he has come with.
because remember, that's
But
how he gets a lot of his powers is through his
the
equipment. That's why I
equipment
was
he
like, it would have
uses.
been a better fight with Dante, I think, because they both have deity level weapons.
Now
You
the
know what I
question
mean?
is with the equipment part, are we going to go through equipments from all the games, or the equipments that you last seen him use?
You would have to do what they all have if you're gonna go with a maximum, right? Because
Because if you
they,
go
but
with
they,
all of them, I'm pretty sure Kratos would find a way, hands down, to win.
hmm
Because he literally gets like about 10 weapons per game.
hmm and some of them are the same. I mean, same thing with Dante. I mean, now he has his he had basically his he had a lot of different weapons. Like he had the guns, he got the few swords, he has the nunchucks, he has the guitar, he has the rocket launcher, he has
Mm-hmm.
the bike, he has the
Sniper rifle.
motorcycle now. You know, but his is more modern weapons. He just turned demons into modern weapons, really, compared
Mm-hmm.
to Kratos, who is all benevolent and swords
Ah,
and
no, I messed
axes.
up.
Hammers and
hmm
element. Like he has
Hmm.
elemental damage, and he has scythes now. So
You know what I mean? So, I mean, that'd be another tricky dicky one right there. Just
because you
saying,
have to
man, that's
think
what
at that
happens
point it's basically
when you try
modern
to,
versus medieval.
yeah, exactly. That's what I was saying because now it's getting to the point where everything is, well, then what wins? A sword versus a gun. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You're getting into semantics now, which really gets down to it. Like I said, like we was talking about from before, it's hard to basically really say what we're going to do because you're dealing with different universes.
Yeah.
Like different universes, different power-ups, different elements. If you was just doing things, like I said, just straight off of just what one has, like I said, it's hard for me to go against Kratos because Kratos fought against deities, he fought against gods of all nature, you know what I mean?
All right. So
Mm-hmm.
then let's make this interesting. Kratos versus Hemotap.
Mm. Well, Kratos is a god slayer, so I would give it to Kratos. He killed immortals. When you say
Yeah, I mean, I'm still
Kratos,
here. I'm
yeah,
sitting
okay.
here trying to think. I'm trying to think if Kratos
You say
can.
Kratos can wait? You say Kratos versus Imhotep?
Hemotap, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, now we get
Kratos
a
is a
god
renowned
slayer.
god slayer.
Mm-hmm.
Hemotep technically is a god. In
Mm-hmm.
that sense, based on title, is a possibility.
Mm-hmm.
But can Kratos survive the plague? He's caused the plague. Can he survive it? Because Kratos is also a god himself, and yes, he tried to, eliminate himself along with the Greek gods, saying, "Oh, I have to kill all the gods, myself included." But
Yeah,
he
he
couldn't
took
even
away
kill
his
himself,
godhood too. Well, that's why
so
he
he
took away
couldn't
his
even
own
kill
godhood.
himself. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Mm.
Hmm. Well, let's see. Hold on. Let's get this. Let's get the facts right. We already know
And
what. Okay, we already know about what Kratos can
Hemotap.
do.
Mm-hmm.
Imhotep, we already know what he can do.
yes, we know what each of them can do, but does Emotep have a weakness that Kratos can exploit? Because that's Kratos' thing. He survives long enough to find a way to exploit
I
your
don't
Yeah,
weakness.
think
exploit.
Kratos. I don't even think this dude have a weakness, unless you make him, unless you can make him mortal.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you can make Imhotep immortal, no, immortal, so you can stab,
Oh shit!
he can't be
Okay.
killed.
What?
But
Because
that's what
remember,
Kratos' weapons is all God Slayer weapons, though. Because
but think
remember,
about
his
it.
main weapons
It's
is all
only,
God
but
Slayers.
think about it. It's only certain weapons he can use to kill gods.
Mm.
The Blade of
Remember,
Olympus, Blades of
remember,
Chaos.
the weapons that he need to fight in the whole God of War series, 1, 2, and 3, was Olympic, and was Greek weapons. And
Mm-hmm.
this one, he need Nordic weapons.
He
Yeah, and
did
this
get the
one he
Blades of
needs.
Chaos back.
Yeah, but look what happened. He needed to turn it into like a Nordic weapon to kill.
So basically, he has to have a weapon of that culture in order to actually win. So we don't know what kind of weapons there is to kill him. What's the only thing that could really kill him before was the Book of the Dead. That was
Or
it.
to
And you
bring
had to basically.
or to bring him back to life.
Well, no, it was to make him normal. He could still have
Yeah.
his powers, but he wasn't able
But he can die
to
though.
be. Yeah,
That's the
exactly. It
thing.
made him
He can
mortal.
die
So if he
to.
was able to make him mortal, then it wouldn't even be a fight at that point.
Mm-hmm. But the thing is, you
Well,
have to understand.
If Kratos doesn't have access to that to make him Hemotep mortal, then I would give it to
Hmm.
Hemotep.
Yeah.
Because even though Kratos can give you a fight, a long, hard fight. Pause.
Hmm.
But at the end of the day, at some point, Kratos can die. He has died before. He can die. Whether or not he will come back
Hmm.
is on him. But if he can't kill you and you can kill him, eventually, that's it.
Exactly. Eventually, he won't be able to do anything.
Mm-hmm.
So unless Kratos can get his hands on making Hemotep mortal, I'm gonna give it to Hemotep.
Hmm. Yeah, you have no choice but to, because you're gonna give Himotep his god abilities, and that's the only way you be able to get rid of him is to take away his godhood, his immortality. I mean, that's what they had to do in the movie. They had to take out his immortality,
Yeah.
and he
Because you
still
gotta
had his
understand.
powers, but he was able to get stabbed and killed. And if he's
Yeah.
able to get stabbed and killed, Kratos has it hands down. But if you can't do that, then it's totally a waste.
Basically.
You know what I mean? If you cannot take him out like that, then
And
it's a
and
wrap.
besides, we already said in the movie that if you take his powers in you, because remember when he went to go get the Scorpion, fight the Scorpion King took all his powers. He said, "Nah, you gotta fight me like you gotta fight me like you fight a mortal have to fight."
Regular dude.
Yeah, exactly. So it became like you gotta fight this Scorpion deity versus a mortal.
In order to take his power.
Yeah, but
But then
Kratos is used to that kind of shit anyway. So
but does Kratos have any
But do I?
God sealing powers?
No, he don't. Kratos is a great brute force killing machine. He don't have those type of techniques. And that was the case. The whole games will be so different. But no.
I get to there.
So Imhotep, I would, and then you have to also put in. You have to also put it in the field where it's going to be at, because it's desert. It's a wrap.
I mean, I don't think Kratos would travel up to the desert, go kill somebody.
If it's desert, it's a wrap. Imhotep won this battle.
I said, yeah, it's just you and me, so yeah, I did it.
So
Sorry about that, guys.
that's alright. So that's my thing.
Yeah, so I said we will, that's what I'm saying, but if Kratos doesn't have the means to seal it, then that's it. But remember that Anubis, or the god of death, is really who gave Imhotep his power.
Yeah.
So his is not.
Does Imhotep have a soul?
You have to kill
Yeah,
him.
I think he does. Yeah. It's like they ended up taking away his stuff at one point.
Yeah, they used the Book of Life.
Yeah, to take away his.
You have to understand the Book of Life takes is like the God killing weapon. The Book of the Dead raised people back to life.
Does Imhotep have a soul? Because Kratos has a couple of weapons that can take someone's soul.
No.
That he got from Hades.
No. Because remember, he can.
Sucks.
That's a good ass question. Do he have a soul?
Because if Imhotep has a soul, and that's where his power is connected, Kratos can literally take Imhotep's powers from him. Because that's what his weapons do.
Basically eat souls, soul eaters.
Yeah. Takes the souls, brings them in him, and then now he has your power.
No, he don't.
And let's
no,
not
he don't.
forget the magic that Kratos can do. Because we're talking about his weapons. He actually has like magic that he can use.
So we're doing them as a full capability. Okay. If you want to do like full capability.
If that's the case, Kratos, because we definitely forgot about Kratos' magic, and when he was fighting Itachi, Itachi's dead. Itachi can combat him, hands on. Can't combat magic, bro. I'm sorry.
If Kratos don't have a magic to negate,
Well, jutsus are kind of magic also.
yeah, jutsu, yeah. But that's going to be different. That's going to be different. That's going to be very different, because where Kratos is going to get his magic from?
He already starts off full, but like if
Because remember,
he needs to do something else.
jutsu go by chakra. Chakra is energy at the end of the goddamn day.
What
So
would be Kratos' energy at that
yeah,
point?
at that point, because magic is not really energy, to be honest.
And you're
Right.
basically just ciphering for something else.
Yeah, exactly. So you could use magic up to how much you can use. This is not I need some MP. No, it don't work like that.
Yeah.
And
But if
besides,
that's the
and
case, then it's the same thing with chakra in a sense. Because once you run out of chakra, you tired of shit. You can't do much.
well, that's only if you could sit. That's only if you have a little time to recharge, to charge up.
We're talking about a straight up battle where there ain't gonna
Hmm.
be no time to catch your breath. You know what I mean? It's gonna
But
be a
that's
straight
and that's what I'm saying.
brawl.
This it's a battle between who's going to do this the quick, who's going to set up the field quick enough to tackle the opponent. Remember, we saw that with Pain and Naruto. Naruto was running out of chakra. Another clone gave him chakra. He's full of health. So if you want to talk about like power like this, you got to bring all the arsenals with you. Cause not just one ninja know shadow clones.
Mm-hmm.
You right.
Not one ninja know how to do shadow clones. The only reason why Naruto used shadow clone because that was his skill. Itachi does it a lot with the Black Crows.
Well, Jonin level is a Jonin level, so all Jonins could basically do
To
it,
do a shadow clone to
but they
some
just
degree.
can't. Yeah, but they
They
just
can't
can't
produce as many
summon
as
like
Naruto.
100.
Yeah,
shadow
well,
clones.
Naruto's main character status, we already know that. But I'm saying like, but it's still the skill that you can now make shadow clones and substitute jutsus. But with Itachi with the sense, he does shit with the crows. He foreseen this and gave Naruto a crow, stuck a crow literally down his mouth, and say, "Hold that, hold that for me because I know it won't come back."
Stick a crow down your throat.
I stuck a black crow down your throat. Hold that for me. Okay, I
You
return
don't
back.
need this.
Okay, I turn back. Okay, then let me see that black crow. Oh, thank you.
Nah, give that back though. I want that
Thank
crow
you.
back though.
Wait a second, did you just even Kabuto's like, wait, did he just got out my jutsu? Nah, I'm not under mind control. Nah, I can fight. That's strategist right there. That's strategy. You already
Yeah,
know
was coming.
that it was
Like
coming.
it there.
So, like I said, when you start the battle, you kind of gotta figure out who you're fighting and how you're gonna beat them. That's what's good about the ninjas. But in a battle that they don't know, they have to look at your weakness. They're gonna find it. That's why I said if it's in a forest for Itachi's sake, it's still gonna be a draw. But if it's on a playing field,
Yeah,
just
he don't
a
know
dead
what he's getting. He doesn't know
exactly.
What he's
On the
with
playing
Kratos.
field, Itachi's he's gonna put up a fighting chance, but he's gonna lose. In the forest, no, Itachi could take all the time he needs to find Kratos' weakness and study.
Exactly.
So that's what I said. That's going to be a
Put him
draw.
against jutsus, let him see exactly how this dude moves.
Exactly. That's how you do. That's what ninjas do. They see how you move. They see how you do things. What power you up and everything else. That's ninja stealth. And when you have that strategist mind, yeah. You also stepping. You're also making A, B, C, D, E. Okay, if he did C, I gotta go straight to D. If he did D, I gotta go straight to E. Like he alphabeticalized what the next plan is going to be. That's what made Itachi dangerous. Even though Kratos is just killing everybody. Women, children, men, dogs, cats, anybody. Horses. He's just a bloodlust warrior. Because he's
He out here killing llamas.
he can he killing everything.
This one,
You know?
Just spit on me. Did they just spit on me?
Yeah, he's just killing anything. So, okay then. But still, it's still going to be a tie game in the forest. But on playing field, Itachi will put up a fighting chance. But I know he's going to lose. That's it.
The llama killer.
Cause we also
Kratos
can't forget
the Mama
about that
Killer.
Itachi have stealing jutsus as well. But we already know that it kills him because he only have one eye to do all that.
Yeah, you
And
can't see, you can't fight.
the moment he set the black flames, Kratos is going to be burning a little bit. If he catch Kratos in the black frame, but I think he will catch Kratos in the black frame because Kratos don't have
Kratos,
that.
Kratos is not that fast.
Yeah, he's not fast. His reaction time is slower than.
But
Yeah.
he has.
Well,
got-
Kratos' reaction time is fast, but Kratos, in terms of running away from something, he's not that fast to run away from sight. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
He can't run away from sight.
But then at that point, also he has good defense or resistance. So
Yeah.
he can resist
Yeah.
these things. I don't know about Hellfire.
Right?
You might be a god slayer at this point. You was a demigod before you became a god. Cause technically you can still die, so you're a demigod at this point, cause you're still human. So you can still die, even with all this power. You can still die. So you're technically not a god. You're still a demigod. So yeah, that's all I said. It will be a good fight. It will be a good battle between Itachi versus Kratos. But on a planet land,
Wait. When were you talking about Kratos as a demigod?
well, if he can still die,
If Kratos, like in the universe of Kratos, gods can die. Kratos was a demigod when he was commanding wars. Once he killed Ares, he became a full god, and they had given him.
'Cause I thought he was still a
power.
demigod at that point.
Oh no, he's a full on god.
'Cause remember, Zeus killed him.
Yeah, with the Blade of Olympus, he was given that power to kill a god. Like they specifically created that one weapon to be able to kill gods.
And then Kratos took that blade and killed Zeus, basically.
Yep, because Zeus made that to kill the Titans.
Which is also stupid because Titans is on a different tier than. Keep
Gods.
going.
Yes.
Keep
Yes.
going. Cause now my myth, you can't talk to me about mythologically because of the fact is that, wait a second, there are tiers to there's tiers of gods.
That's the thing. That's the thing. Zeus created that blade in order to attempt to kill the Titans, which he didn't do. He didn't kill the Titans. He was able to put them, he was able to control them
enslave
and
them.
entrap them.
Yeah,
after
enslave
that.
them.
Yeah, he enslaved them. So it didn't work the way he wanted to, but he got to the point where he was able to control them. And then Kratos went through and released them, and yeah, Zeus created the only weapon that would bring about his destruction.
Yeah, so Zeus
Kratos used it against
basically created a weapon that could kill him and lower tier gods. Basically.
Well, lower tail gods can die regardless, but yeah.
So
This ridiculousness.
yeah, it's stupid,
It's a little
but
confusing.
it is confusing because it's not so. Because now you can only kill the Titans because they're on a different tier of godhood, but you could kill the children gods. So it's like very confusing.
But Kratos he did gain the power to kill the Titans. So
Because he
Kratos
got it
has
from
the
Gaia,
power to
didn't he?
kill- Huh?
He got it from Gaia, didn't he?
Yep.
Yeah, so that's the only way. That's the only reason because he got it from a Titan herself, and Gaia is one of the most strongest Titans in her and
Kronos. Her and
yeah,
Kronos.
but there was another one. There was another one.
Atlas.
No, there was another one.
That wasn't Atlas.
No. Atlas was somebody else's child.
Atlas was a Titan.
That was the one that held up the world, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
but I
Atlas is
think,
the one that holds up the world. Atlas was a Titan.
but I
That he was
think,
tricked by Zeus or something like that.
Because Zeus is the son of Kronos. Um, shit.
hold on, hold
I'm pretty
on.
sure
I
that
wrote this
there's
down
only like
somewhere.
I'm
I
pretty
wrote
sure
this
there's only
down.
like 5 Titans.
Uranus. Uranus and Gaia.
Uranus, Kronos, and Gaia. Yeah.
There was Uranus, Gaia, Oceanus. I'm going to butcher these names.
He's already
Everybody from
butchered them.
switching.
8 of the Titan brothers married their sisters.
What the hell is that? Oh my god.
Yeah, these guys.
He used telekinesis. He's throwing shit at me. Oh. Get him, Tifa. Alright.
And this is the stupid part. Cronus and Rhea is the one that gave that birth on Zeus, not Gaia.
Yeah, I knew that.
I was like, wait a second. Hold up. If I know my Egyptian, I know plenty of Egyptian mythology, but I need to get back on my Greek. Hold on for one.
Yeah,
I know I wrote that down somewhere. I was like, wait a second, hold on. And who was the other? And who we're talking about the other one? In Imhotep, the Egyptian god himself versus Kratos. If it's in his playing field, then Kratos lost that one. He would have a fighting chance, but against Imhotep and his domain, eh.
Oh, I don't have enough for that.
That's from, yeah, that's a little, I have to say that. Actually, that would be actually a good battle.
Jesus.
Imhotep versus
Kratos.
Kratos. I think that would be actually a good battle, to be exact. Because
like I said, Itachi would do great, but when it came to stories, his was just the more fulfilled one.
yeah, it was a more fulfilling one, and that's why I liked it. But then when when they brought back God of War, I said, really? Why? It was already perfect as it is. Stop doing stuff.
That's why they be doing the extras.
Yeah, like stop doing stuff. Oh, that's a good battle. Oh, that'd be a good battle. Cause now we gotta figure out. Cause if Imhotep gonna bring all the goddamn plagues. Oh.
Damn it, Cloud.
If Imhotep gonna be bringing all the plagues,
That's what I'm saying.
and then the sandstorm and
he can manipulate the area around him too.
yeah, exactly. I don't know. That's a interesting one. That's an interesting one. That's a very interesting one. 'Cause at this point right now,
You're
y'all.
welcome.
That's a. I don't know.
You over here throwing shit at me.
That's like saying who will win, Zeus or Odin.
Yeah, good.
Zeus or Odin.
What
So you got
in
one
the
that's
hell
the
are
key of
you
life
doing?
versus Titans.
Oh, we bringing out. What is this?
Hmm.
Oh, he got a face. Oh, this motherfucker got a face.
Mm-mm-mm.
Nope, you didn't tell me you had a face.
Mm-hmm. But all right, guys, I'm gonna have to call it for today.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
I'm
know.
about to join you. I'm in this boss
that
fight
that
right
was
now, though. So,
that
oh,
That
this
was
was
a
a good
good one.
talk.
Yeah.
That was
So
a
for the battle with Itachi and Kratos, when it comes to their storylines or the way that they had their redemption, Itachi wins that hands down.
yeah.
You know, because of the developers still making God of War. But in a fight, we would have to give it to Kratos because Itachi's just too limited when it
yeah,
comes to his full potential. He's too limited for his full potential. Even if he is undead, in order for him to use his best attack, he still loses half of his power,
Mm-hmm.
even as an undead. So, Kratos would basically still be able to do whatever it is that he wants to do and still be able to do that. But yeah, but for the original question, it's Itachi, hands down.
I can agree on that one.
okay.
Hmm.
Look, I ain't got nothing wrong with that.
Okay. Okay.
So
All right,
okay.
gentlemen. Everyone in the broadcast, y'all have a good day. It goes Power Star signing off.
And this has been
Hey,
Tyrone001 signing off.
I'll be going soon, but I'm definitely going to get.